It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm back at the gym. I did a video before about the importance of self-care, and I talked about how I try to prioritize that in my life because it really makes a difference to my well-being in many different areas, including mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And I noticed that people wanted me to talk about this a little bit more. So that's why I'm doing another video. And if I sound like I'm out of breath, it's because I'm actually biking right now while doing this video. Because of course I gotta make a point. So I wanted to say that in my experience working with leaders, I think it is absolutely crucial that they prioritize their self-care. This is actually an essential part of Heart First leadership, which is something that I promote in working with leaders. Now, when I first started working with leaders at one of the top Christian humanitarian organizations in the world, I interviewed a lot of staff, and I found out that their staff care was a massive, massive problem. And so this is why I decided to address the issue when I developed strategic communications plans for the leaders, because I personally feel like it's very difficult to be a wonderful leader if you can't prioritize staff care. Now, staff care is complicated. It includes lots of different things, including workload, workforce culture, and whatnot. But I also think an element of that is, the well-being efforts that we instigate ourselves. And so I think as leaders, they've got to set a wonderful example for staff in the organization. They have to actually prioritize it themselves, actually lead a life where they are, investing in their well-being. Exercise, meditating, walking, whatever it is that helps them to decompress and center themselves and lead well. And then they've got to actually promote it with their staff in the organization. I think it should be accepted. And I think as staff, we can look to leaders for that example, but we also have to model it ourselves. So I think it's kind of like a two-way street, right? So leaders are modeling it, and staff can also invest in this area. And then we can have healthier selves and a healthier workforce culture and healthier boundaries and workloads and whatnot like that. So these are all things that are really important. And I've just come to learn over the years through my own experiences and in working with leaders that, it's important to prioritize this. We try to make healthy efforts to do this, but at times, sometimes the work is overwhelming. There might be a crisis that is happening where leaders are working very late nights. They might have a lot of travel, back-to-back trips, and that can take its toll. So I think just sometimes life and work is demanding and is overwhelming. And so I think we have to have some self-awareness and to be able to recognize when we're starting to feel burnt out and really make an effort to prioritize, putting in some healthy rhythms into our schedule. Even if we're traveling, or, if we're just working a lot of late hours, maybe take some time off and then, recalibrate yourself. So I think it's vital. And I also have to say, in working with the leaders that I've had the pleasure of working with, they did inspire me in many different ways about how they prioritize their self-care. Some of them did daily walks, or big walking events, cycling, exercising at the gym. And so I was inspired by them. In fact, one of them actually inspired me to go on my daily walks that I do now, because that wasn't something that I did before. So we really can learn from leaders, and we can set the example ourselves for others. It is so vital, and I really encourage you all to prioritize your well-being. We are nothing without our health, but even beyond that, when we are healthy, our relationships are stronger, and our work is stronger and more compelling and more creative, and we can just perform at our best in all areas of life when we have a healthy foundation.